The stars stretched out like a black canvas dotted with countless pinpricks of light. Aboard the massive triangular ship called the Emerald Spear, Counselor Jae-sung studied the holographic display with growing unease. Humanity, such a small word for a species that had become the galaxy's most perplexing puzzle. For decades, the Galactic Council had watched Earth. They had collected data, analyzed behaviors, and drawn conclusions. Humans were unpredictable, dangerous, potentially uncontrollable. Jae-sung's fingers traced the holographic image of Earth, blue and green, so similar to countless other planets, yet so different. The planet seemed peaceful from a distance, but the Council's intelligence suggested otherwise. Incoming transmission, chirped the ship's communication system. The holographic display shifted, revealing a human representative. Kim Seok sat perfectly still, wearing a simple dark suit that seemed almost primitive compared to the intricate ceremonial robes of galactic diplomats. His eyes were calm, but there was something else beneath the surface. A hardness, a determination that made even the most seasoned alien diplomats uncomfortable. Counselor Jae-sung, Seok began, his voice clear and steady. "We appreciate the opportunity for this meeting." Jae-sung adjusted his translator. Humans and their simple languages always required careful interpretation. "The Galactic Council has been observing your species for considerable time," he replied, choosing his words with precision. The human's lips curved slightly. Was it a smile? A threat? With humans, it was always so hard to tell. Deep within the Emerald Spear, a team of alien analysts watched the transmission. They had spent years studying human behavior, creating complex algorithms to predict human actions. Yet something always escaped their understanding. "We understand your concerns," Seok said. "Humanity's recent technological advances have been rapid. Rapid. Such an understatement. In less than 2 centuries, humans had gone from horse-drawn carriages to interplanetary exploration. They had developed technologies that baffled even the most advanced civilizations: quantum computing, genetic engineering, neural networks that seemed to learn and adapt faster than any known biological system. Jae-sung knew the Council's primary concern. Humans needed a control mechanism, a way to ensure they wouldn't become a threat to galactic stability. The kill switch. It was a simple concept. A genetic-level control that could neutralize the human population if they became too dangerous. The Council had used such mechanisms before with other emerging species. It was standard procedure. But something about humans was different. "We will be meeting in person," Jae-sung stated. It wasn't a request. At Horizon Prime Space Station, in 3 standard lunar cycles. Seok's response was immediate. "We accept." The transmission ended. Silence filled the command deck of the Emerald Spear. "Analysis," Jae-sung demanded. A junior analyst named Rin stepped forward. Her tentacles, a sign of her Hadrian species, moved nervously as she presented her report. "Psychological profile confirms previous assessments. Humans demonstrate high levels of adaptive intelligence, unpredictable social structures, and an unusual capacity for both extreme violence and remarkable cooperation." Jae-sung nodded. The contradiction was what made humans so dangerous, so unpredictable. Little did he know, preparations were already underway on Earth. In secure facilities, hidden from public view, researchers like Yu Minji were working on technologies that would soon challenge everything the Galactic Council believed they understood about control and potential. The countdown to the meeting had begun, and nothing would be the same again. Asterisk to be continued. Asterisk. The research facility was quiet. Too quiet. Yu Minji stood at the center of a room filled with impossible machines. Holographic displays flickered around her, showing complex calculations that would make most scientists' heads spin. She was different. Humans were always different. Outside the facility, the world continued its usual dance. Cars moved through city streets. People went about their daily lives. Nobody knew about the breakthrough happening just behind these sealed doors. Minji's fingers moved across a transparent screen. Numbers danced. Patterns formed. Something new was coming. Thousands of miles away, aboard the Emerald Spear, Counselor Jae-sung reviewed the latest reports about human technological development. Each document made him more nervous. Each report suggested humans were not what the Galactic Council believed them to be. Another innovation, muttered Rin, the junior analyst, sliding a digital file across the holographic table. The file contained details about a new quantum communication system, developed by humans, completely different from anything the Galactic Council had ever seen. Jae-sung's fingers moved slowly, examining each detail. The technology was elegant, simple, yet impossibly complex. It broke rules that had existed in galactic science for thousands of years. How was this possible? Back on Earth, Minji continued her work. The machine before her was not just a computer. It was something more. An adaptive system that could learn, change, and solve problems faster than any known technology in the galaxy. She remembered the stories her grandfather told her about human potential, about how humans had always been underestimated, how they turned impossible challenges into opportunities. The Galactic Council thought humans needed control, a kill switch, but they didn't understand. Humans didn't need control. They needed opportunity. In another part of the research facility, a team of engineers worked on something even more extraordinary, a communication system that could translate between any known language and some unknown languages in milliseconds. "We're ready for the first test," said Park Dong-ah, the lead engineer. Minji nodded. Her eyes reflected the soft blue light of the machines around her. The test began. Signals moved through complex networks. Quantum entanglement created pathways that defied traditional understanding of communication. Information traveled faster than light, transformed, adapted. Thousands of light years away, the Emerald Spear's communication systems suddenly lit up. Strange signals appeared, patterns that made no sense. Yet they were clearly organized, clearly intelligent. "What is this?" Jae-sung demanded. Rin's tentacles moved rapidly across control panels. I'm not sure, Counselor. The signals don't match any known communication protocol." The signals continued, changing, adapting, showing complexity that was both beautiful and terrifying. Minji smiled, just a small smile. But it carried the weight of 1,000 unspoken discoveries. Humans had always been good at surprising everyone. This would be no different. On the Emerald Spear, Jae-sung realized something fundamental was changing. The universe they knew was about to be rewritten, and humans would be the ones holding the pen. "Prepare a full report," he told Rin. "The Council needs to see this immediately." Outside, stars continued to shine, distant, silent, watching. The game was changing. And nobody, not humans, not the Galactic Council, knew exactly how it would end. Asterisk to be continued. Asterisk. Horizon Prime Space Station hung in the darkness of space like a giant metallic flower. Its circular design was meant to be neutral ground, a place where different species could meet without fear or threat. Today, it would host the most important meeting in human history. Kim Seok adjusted his dark blue suit. Simple, practical, so different from the complex robes and shimmering suits of the alien diplomats around him. He looked calm, but inside, he was ready for anything. The meeting room was huge. One side filled with Galactic Council representatives, skin colors that ranged from deep purple to silvery green, eyes that saw the world in ways humans could never understand. And on the other side, the human delegation. Small, seemingly fragile. Counselor Jae-sung stepped forward. His voice carried across the room through advanced translation systems. "The Galactic Council has reviewed humanity's recent technological developments," he began. "We have a proposal." The word proposal hung in the air. Everyone knew what was coming. "A safety protocol," Jae-sung continued. "A genetic-level control mechanism. A kill switch. The human delegation remained silent. Siok's eyes never moved, never blinked. The kill switch was simple in concept, a biological system that could stop human reproduction, shut down critical genetic functions, essentially a way to control an entire species with the push of a button. The Galactic Council had used this method before, with other young species that showed too much potential, too much unpredictability. "We believe this is necessary," Jae-sung said, "to protect the galaxy, to ensure stability." Admiral Park Dong-ah, head of Earth's strategic research team, leaned forward. His voice was soft, but everyone heard him. "We would like to review the full proposal," he said. Some alien diplomats looked surprised. They expected anger, resistance, not a calm request for information. Behind the scenes, human strategists were already working. In secure rooms deep beneath Earth's surface, teams of scientists and military experts began analyzing every possible angle of the kill switch proposal. Yu Min-ji wasn't in those rooms. She was in her lab, working on something entirely different, something that would change everything. Back in the meeting room, Siok spoke. "We appreciate the Council's concern," he said, "and we would like to understand the full details of this proposal." Jae-sung didn't know it yet, but this was the first step in a very different kind of negotiation. The humans weren't going to fight the proposal. They were going to understand it, completely, totally. And in understanding, they would find a way to ensure it could never be used. Diplomatic meetings are usually boring. Long speeches, complex words, endless discussions. This one was different. Something was changing. And nobody, not the humans, not the Galactic Council, knew exactly what was coming next. The kill switch proposal was on the table, but the game was just beginning. Outside the meeting room, stars continued to shine. Silent, patient, watching. Asterisk to be continued. Asterisk. 2 weeks after the initial meeting, everything changed. The Galactic Council thought they understood technology. They had traveled between stars for thousands of years. They had created machines that could think. They had mapped entire galaxies. They were wrong. Yu Min-ji stood in a small white room. Holographic displays surrounded her. Her fingers moved quickly. Patterns formed, dissolved, rebuilt themselves. "Ready," she said softly. In the next room, a team of scientists watched. Some human, some alien, all nervous. The machine before Min-ji was unlike anything anyone had ever seen. It looked simple, a small silver box with soft blue lights, but looks could be very misleading, especially when humans were involved. Counselor Jae-sung watched the live transmission from the Emerald Sphere. His 3 eyes narrowed. Something was happening. Something big. Min-ji pressed a single button. The silver box came alive. Waves of data began to move. Not just move. Dance. Twist. Transform. The holographic displays showed impossible patterns. Connections that made no sense, and then made perfect sense. The machine was learning, adapting, changing faster than any computer in the galaxy had ever done before. "Impossible," whispered Rin, the junior analyst. But it was happening. The neural network Min-ji had created could do something extraordinary. It could understand and neutralize any external control mechanism. In real time, instantly. The kill switch proposal. It just became useless. More than useless. A joke. Alien scientists watching the transmission began to understand. This wasn't just a new technology. This was a complete revolution in how intelligence could work. Min-ji's machine could look at a complex system, any system, understand its rules, find its weaknesses, create solutions faster than the system could even recognize a problem. The Galactic Council's kill switch was just another system to be understood, to be defeated. "Transmission complete," Min-ji said. Her voice was calm, but her eyes showed something else. Excitement, determination. Back on the Emerald Sphere, Jae-sung understood something fundamental was changing. Humans were not just another young species to be controlled. They were something else entirely. Admiral Park Dong-ha watched the transmission from a secure facility on Earth. He smiled, just a small smile, but it carried the weight of years of secret research. Humans had always been good at surprises. The transmission ended, but its effects were just beginning. In meeting rooms across the galaxy, alien diplomats would soon receive a message, a simple message, but one that would change everything. The kill switch was dead, and humanity was just getting started. Outside, stars continued to shine, distant, silent, watching. The game had changed, and nobody knew what would happen next. Asterisk to be continued. Asterisk. Silence filled the meeting room. Alien diplomats looked confused, uncomfortable. Something was happening that they could not understand. Kim Seok stood at the center of the room. His posture was simple, straight, calm. But his eyes told a different story. They held a fire that no alien had ever seen before. "Let me explain something," he began. The translation systems hummed. His words moved through layers of technology, converting human language into countless alien dialects. "Humans are not what you think we are." Counselor Jae-sung leaned forward, his three eyes focused carefully. Seok continued, "You see our history and think we are violent, dangerous, but you missed the most important part. We are survivors." On the holographic displays, images began to appear, not of wars, not of destruction, but of human history. A family planting crops in a desert, scientists working together in a small laboratory, people helping each other after a big storm, children learning in schools, communities building something new. "We are not a species that needs to be controlled," Seok said. "We are a species that solves problems." The images changed, showing human achievements, medical breakthroughs, technology that helped people, solutions to impossible challenges. Rin, the junior analyst, watched carefully. Her tentacles moved slowly. She was learning something important. Humans were different. They didn't just survive. They adapted. They changed. They grew. When other species would give up, humans found a way forward. When challenges seemed impossible, humans created new solutions. The Galactic Council had seen human history as a story of violence, but they missed the bigger picture. Every challenge humans faced made them stronger. Every problem became an opportunity to learn, to grow, to become something new. "We are not perfect," Seok said, "but we are always trying to be better." More images appeared, showing how humans had solved environmental problems, created new technologies, helped each other across different cultures and countries. Jae-sung realized something important. Humans were not a threat to be controlled. They were a potential to be understood. The room was quiet, but it was a different kind of quiet. Not the quiet of fear, but the quiet of understanding. "Our strength is not in weapons," Seok continued. "Our strength is in how we work together, how we solve problems, how we never give up." Alien diplomats looked at each other. Something was changing. Their understanding of humans was changing. Seok's final words hung in the air. "We are not your enemy. We could be your greatest partners." Outside the meeting room, the universe continued to spin. Stars moved in their endless dance. Galaxies turned. But something was different now. The Galactic Council was beginning to see humans differently, and everything was about to change. Asterisk to be continued. Asterisk. The simulation room was cold. Bright white lights made everything look sharp, clean, perfect. Admiral Park Dong-ha stood at the center. Around him, holographic displays showed a complex problem, the kind of problem that had made other species give up. Today, humans would show the Galactic Council something different. "Begin," he said softly. The simulation started. Imagine a galaxy-wide crisis, communication systems failing, supply lines breaking, entire planetary systems losing power. Most species would panic, freeze, wait for someone else to solve the problem. Not humans. Yu Minji worked at a secondary control station. Her fingers moved like lightning. Complex systems appeared and disappeared, transformed, rebuilt. The first challenge came quickly. A communication blackout that would stop most species for weeks. Humans solved it in minutes. Alien observers watched carefully. Their recording devices captured every moment, every decision. Dong He moved differently from other military leaders. He wasn't just giving orders. He was solving problems, adapting, changing strategies faster than the simulation could create new challenges. Minji's neural network worked alongside human team members, learning, changing, finding solutions that no single brain could discover. Another challenge appeared, a massive energy disruption that would destroy most planetary systems. The human team didn't just protect their own systems. They found a way to redirect, to save, to solve. Counselor Jae-sung watched the live transmission from the Emerald Sphere. His three eyes could not believe what they were seeing. Humans were different. They didn't just survive. They transformed problems into opportunities. The simulation continued. More challenges came, each more complex than the last. The human team never stopped, never gave up. Where other species saw walls, humans saw bridges. Where others saw impossible problems, humans saw puzzles to be solved. Rin, the junior analyst, took notes. Her tentacles moved quickly across digital screens. She was learning something important about humanity. Humans were not just another species. They were something else entirely. As the simulation reached its final stage, something extraordinary happened. The human team didn't just solve the problems. They created new systems, new ways of thinking, solutions that were so elegant, so simple, that they seemed almost impossible. Simulation complete, a computer voice announced. Silence filled the room. The alien observers looked shocked. The human team looked calm, like they had just finished a normal day's work. Dong had turned to the observation team. His smile was small, but it carried the weight of something much bigger. "Any questions?" he asked. Outside the simulation room, the universe continued to spin. Stars moved in their endless dance. Galaxies turned. But something had changed. The Galactic Council now understood something fundamental about humans. They were not a species to be controlled. They were a species that could solve anything. Asterisk to be continued. Asterisk. Counselor Jae-sung sat alone in his private chamber. The walls of the Emerald Sphere hummed softly around him. His three eyes looked tired, but his mind was more awake than ever before. Humans had changed everything. The killed switch idea was dead. Something new was coming. An alliance nobody had expected. A communication light blinked. Kim Seok was requesting a private meeting. "Enter," Jae-sung said. The door opened. Seok walked in. No guards, no weapons, just a simple human in a dark blue suit. "We need to talk," Seok said. Jae-sung noticed something different. The way Seok moved, the way he looked. It was not like previous diplomatic meetings. This was something else. "The Galactic Council misunderstood humans," Seok began. "But we don't want revenge. We want partnership." Outside the chamber, stars moved in their endless dance. Galaxies spun, but something was changing. Yu Minji's research had shown something incredible. Human technologies could solve problems that had stopped other species for thousands of years. Not just small problems, big ones. Climate control on dying planets, energy systems that could power entire star systems, communication networks that could connect species thousands of light years apart. Jae-sung listened carefully. Every word mattered. "We have technologies," Seok continued, "that could help every species in the galaxy. But we don't want to control. We want to help." The junior analyst Rin had prepared a report. Weeks of human history, thousands of examples of humans solving impossible problems. Not for power, not for control, but because solving problems was what humans did. Medical breakthroughs, environmental solutions, technologies that could heal entire planetary systems. Siok placed a small data chip on the table. This contains just a small example of what we can do together. Jae-sung's hand moved slowly. He picked up the chip. Information began to flow. Impossible solutions. Technologies that could transform entire galaxies. We are not your enemies, Siok said. We are potential partners. The chamber was quiet, but it was a different kind of quiet. Not the quiet of fear, but the quiet of possibility. Humans had shown something important. They were not a threat to be controlled. They were a potential to be understood. Admiral Park Dong-ha watched the meeting from a secure location. His team was ready, not for war, but for cooperation. Our strength is in working together, Dong-ha had told his team, not in fighting. Jae-sung looked at Siok. Something was changing. The entire way the galaxy worked was about to be different. We will present this to the full Galactic Council, Jae-sung said. Siok nodded. Just a small nod. But it carried the weight of something much bigger. A new chapter was beginning. Not just for humans, but for everyone. The universe continued to spin. Stars moved in their endless dance. But something was different now. Humanity was no longer just another species. They were something else entirely. Asterisk to be continued. Asterisk. The Great Hall of the Galactic Council looked like something from another world. Which, technically, it was. Massive windows showed endless space. Alien representatives from 100 different species sat in curved rows. Some had skin that changed colors. Some had multiple arms. Some looked like living crystals. But today, everyone was looking at one person. Kim Seok stood at the center of the hall. No weapons, no fancy technology. Just a simple human in a dark blue suit. The most conservative members of the Galactic Council were not happy. They wanted control. They wanted the kill switch. They wanted humans to be stopped. Humans are a threat, shouted a representative from the Crystal Worlds. His body flickered like broken light. They must be controlled. Siok did not move, did not change. Yu Minji sat in the background. She was ready. Her neural network was watching, learning, preparing. Admiral Park Dong-ha stood nearby. His eyes showed something interesting. Not anger, not fear, something else. Confidence. We have a solution, Siok said. His voice was calm, clear. The hall went quiet. Holographic displays appeared, not showing weapons, not showing human military power, something else entirely. Technologies that could solve problems no one else could solve. A system that could clean poisoned planets in weeks. Communication networks that could connect species thousands of light years apart. Medical technologies that could heal entire populations. The Crystal World's representative looked angry. These are tricks, he shouted. But other representatives were listening, watching. Minji's neural network began to work, showing real-time data, proving every single claim. Humans were not offering to control. They were offering to help. The most conservative council members tried one last attack. They wanted to push a final vote, to show humans as a threat. But something was different now. Other species had seen the human simulation, had watched how humans solved impossible problems. We do not want to fight, Siok said. We want to work together. Each word was carefully chosen. Each sentence was a bridge. Counselor Jae-sung watched from his seat. His 3 eyes showed something interesting. Understanding. The junior analyst Rin took notes. Her tentacles moved quickly across digital screens. Something big was happening. The conservative representatives tried one last time to push their control agenda, to show humans as a danger. But the other representatives had seen something different. They had seen human potential. They had seen hope. Suk's final presentation showed something incredible. Not human military power, not human technology. Human potential. The ability to solve problems, to work together, to help. The vote was coming. The entire galaxy was watching. Outside the hall, stars continued to move. Galaxies spun in their endless dance. But something was different now. Humanity was no longer just another species. They were something else entirely. A possibility. A hope. Asterisk to be continued. Asterisk. 1 month after the final council meeting, everything changed. The first joint human-alien research station orbited a distant planet. Its design was different, not like other space stations. This one looked like something new, something hopeful. Yu Minji stood at the main observation window. Stars moved outside, endless and beautiful. "We did it," said Counselor Jae-sung, walking up beside her. Minji smiled, just a small smile, but it carried the weight of everything that had happened. The kill switch was gone, forgotten. Something else had taken its place. Cooperation. The research station was proof. Humans and aliens worked together, not as controlled groups, not as enemies, but as partners. Alien scientists worked alongside human researchers, sharing knowledge, solving problems that no single species could solve alone. Admiral Park Dong-ha watched from a control room. His team included members from 6 different alien species. They worked like a single group. No tensions, no fights, just pure problem solving. A communication came through. A planet was in trouble. Its environment was dying. In the past, different species would fight over who would help, or do nothing. Not anymore. The human-alien team prepared a solution. Quick, efficient, compassionate. Rin, the junior analyst who had first studied humans, now worked as a lead coordinator. Her tentacles moved quickly across communication panels, connecting, helping, solving. The galaxy was different now. Humans had shown something important. They were not a threat to be controlled. They were a potential to be discovered. Kim Seok reviewed the latest reports. Technologies developed. Problems solved. Planets helped. The Galactic Council had made a mistake. They thought humans needed to be stopped. But humans didn't want to stop anything. They wanted to start something. A new way of working together. The research station continued its work. Outside, a distant planet began to heal. Its environment recovering. Life returning. Proof that cooperation was stronger than control. Minji looked at the star map. Millions of possible worlds. Endless possibilities. "What's next?" Jae-sung asked. Minji's smile grew a little bigger. "Everything," she said. The station's systems hummed. Alien and human technologies working together, creating something new, something never seen before. No kill switch needed. Just understanding. Just potential. Humans had always been good at one thing, finding a way forward. When others saw walls, humans saw bridges. When others saw problems, humans saw opportunities. The universe was big, endless, full of challenges. But humans had something special. Hope. And now, they were not alone. The research station continued its work. Stars moved outside. Galaxies spun in their endless dance. But something was different now. Humanity was no longer just another species. They were something else entirely. A possibility. A future. Asterisk. The end asterisk.